All right, let's stop. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Applicable Science. Um, we are your co-hosts. My name is Christopher Small, a graduating senior electrical engineering major from Jacksonville, Florida.
And my name is Amanda Harvey. I'm a junior cellular molecular biology major from Woolwich, New Jersey.
And y'all already know your boy Chauncey from the real DMV, computer engineering major, computer science minor, and we are applicable science.
You do know there's a DMV in every city, correct? Because
No,
you have people driving.
The DMV is fake.
What does DMV stand for our audience, Chauncey?
District Columbia.
Department of
Maryland.
Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, that part.
But they can't drive.
So it's District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia.
Indeed.
Before we get into the main topic today, does it cover the whole state of Maryland and Virginia? Just for clarification.
Well,
where's the cutoff point is the real question.
It all depends on who you're talking to.
Here we go.
It all depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to somebody who is from DC, they're going to say DMV is District of Columbia, Maryland, but only the PG part. And then Virginia, which is we go all the way up until no more than the very furthest is Arlington.
Okay. So
now, I'm District of Columbia, entire Maryland, and Arlington.
So including Baltimore, which people in Baltimore don't even claim the DMV.
Like I said, it depends on who you're talking to.
Wow, y'all need to have a DMV dictionary, a map, and rules and regulations. That's all I gotta say.
Really no.
Yeah.
People in DMV are irrelevant. I mean, no.
Whoa, what a shot. What a shot. I ain't gonna hold you. They do have the best. They do produce the best hoopers. I can't lie about that.
At the end of the day, nobody says, hey, let's go to New Jersey.
Yes, they do.
Keep that in mind. No one says that.
Yes, they do.
The casinos? What are you talking about?
Atlantic City. I was just there.
New Jersey. You see he didn't attack Florida.
And what is
Miami's in Florida, so I really can't say anything about that.
And Mickey Mouse.
Okay,
but there's Disney World LA too, so
that doesn't count.
How doesn't it count?
Because it's not as good as Disney World. Disneyland is like, if Disney World is A+, Disneyland is like B-.
Very true.
Ask anybody who's been to both. Guarantee they say Disney World is the best.
Have you been to both?
No, but I don't need to if public opinion is already confirmed.
No, you need to go to both. You're bandwagoning at this point.
All right, so since you're from Howard County, send me the bread so I can go to Disneyland.
You keep saying this. All right, for our listeners, Mr. B, aka Christopher Small.
Oh my gosh.
Has a stipend. Every month.
Bro, hold on.
He gets money.
This is not what you got. No.
About at least $2,000.
No. This is not what you about to do. You're not about to tell these people my pockets.
I'm saying, Chris, where's your money?
You're not going to tell these people my pockets, bro.
You get money every month.
I'm getting paid because I work hard in school, but don't tell these people my pockets.
You broke.
Yeah. Anyways. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. We have a new segment, second episode of it, Park Hard Conversations, where we jump into a regular conversation, have those late night conversations where you have with your friends in the car, or maybe your significant other, however you have those conversations, and we just expand on however long the topic goes. So today we have Big Pharma. So big pharmaceutical companies and everyone in between or involved in that industry. Moral obligation towards the customers or monetary requirement. So since we have a future physician assistant and Amanda Harvey, Amanda, what is your take on this?
Okay. So I'm being a future medical person, PA. I'm very torn between Big Pharma because I'm very pro like natural medicine. My grandmother, she's like a certified naturopathy and everything like that. So she's taught me a whole lot about holistic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, it's brought up a lot of things that I want to do with myself and how I go about things that I take. I don't take any medicines unless it's like ibuprofen here and there, and I even limit that. But also, I feel like in today's society, I feel like Big Pharma has too big of a role over the medical industry, and there's history to prove that how Big Pharma is controlling the medical industry. So I feel like that's something to look into.
So when you said natural medicine, I guess natural treatment, the first thing that popped into my mind was Dr. Sebi. Rest in peace to him. He was like one of the people that promoted natural products for injuries, treatment, anything the ground or Mother Earth gave to us. It could all solve all our problems. So he was the first person that popped into my head when you said natural things. I just feel like pharmaceutical companies are cash cows. They're very money hungry. They know people get sick, and they know we'll need treatment when our time is almost the end. So I feel like they can just capitalize off the service of just giving people money. I mean, giving people medicine to help themselves because they know they probably never go out of style, go out of business unless they have a bad drug or major side effects with that.
Mm-hmm. And I even feel like some physicians or people who work in like medical offices, I feel like some of them, or maybe not all of them, have quotas for how much they need to give out and how much medicine they need to prescribe. Because I remember I was having migraines last year, so I went to the doctor and I was like, hey, I described all my symptoms. And he gave me options. He was like, do you want to terminate it like as soon as possible? Or like, do you want to have it where you could get it every once in a while and it's not like permanent? So he gave me all these drugs because I was like, I'm sick of having headaches. But then I called my grandmother. I call her Mother Dear, but I called her and I told her about these medicines I was taking. And she was like, no. And she gave me this one option, which was all natural. It was called Calm, which has a lot of magnesium in it. And it got rid of my headaches. And I didn't have to take any of the medicine because when looking back on the medicine, I told my doctor about it and he was like, yeah. He was like, I wouldn't even recommend that because they called the one medicine, I forget exactly what it was called, but it made you like lethargic and made you forget things. And he was just, and like he told me after, he was like, yeah, just keep taking the Calm. You'll be good. Because doctors are aware of the better alternatives, the healthier alternatives to your body. But because of Big Pharma, they prescribe the medicine anyway.
I don't understand that. Well, you can go, Chauncey.
So both your point is saying that there are better options than what pharmaceutical companies are offering you, but they keep pushing it because they want to make money, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I believe pharmaceutical companies, they hide behind the fact that they want to help people. But at the same time, they know they can capitalize off of them because they have the leverage.
Because once you start taking medicine, you don't stop. Think about people with high blood pressure. They give you high blood pressure medication to regulate your blood pressure. But what's really wrong with you is something internal that's making your blood pressure high. So really, they're just fixing the blood pressure, but they're not fixing the problem. So you're going to continue having high blood pressure and taking these medicines and continue giving them money.
Okay, so what you're basically saying is either we live in it or like is temporary removing it versus permanently removing it is what the concept is. So, I mean, I understand from a humane perspective, but like, I mean, the business side, I don't blame them. Okay. Obviously, if it was me, I would be telling the doctors to give them the permanent or the more recommended options. Even if, because I hate to say it, but like, it's going to affect my bottom line. But then at that point, I would have at least changed paths and say, try to find another option or trying to find another revenue of income so I'm not relying on something that's very temporary based.
Your bottom line, meaning like if you were the owner or the CEO of the company. Okay, so your bottom line is cash.
Right.
So everything gets
So,
back to cash. At the end of the day, everything goes back to money.
but I'm confused. Don't that violate some type of medical like not med like some medical doctor that they have to do? I thought you do have to like say an oath saying you have to do everything in your power to make your patient feel better or something like that.
The
Hippocratic. Mhm.
Hippocratical oath or
Hippocratic.
Hippocratic, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that not part of the oath?
I heard that was a false. That they actually don't even say that. I don't. Where did that term even come from?
No, it's an actual oath, but
Oh,
it's interesting because they make him the father of medicine, but actually he's not. But
educate.
he's the first white man to do it. So this is another topic, but and I don't know all the details. But if you guys do some research on Imhotep, he was actually the father of medicine, and it was back when they had like the pyramids.
Black
So
skin history.
he
Black
actually
skin history.
developed like cures for all these diseases. But since it was so long ago, and then Hippocrates came along and said all these ideals about it of medicine, they gave him credit for it instead of Imhotep.
Those conspiracies we're definitely going to talk about in another episode. We're not
Conspiracies, no, it's accurate. They actually have physical evidence.
Okay. Theories or whatever you say, we'll say that for a different episode. We'll go into more.
I'll put the link.
But we'll stick with the pharmaceuticals for the moment. So, I mean, I understand what you're talking about like how they're basically using people as cash cows, but people, I mean, it's obvious that people loves money, so they'll do things on their best interest and not for the betterment of society. Like, for example,
That's bad though. That's terrible.
but
If money is your body,
it's crazy because it's not like he's the only one. It's everywhere. No
that's what
matter.
we're saying. Big pharma as a whole.
I wouldn't even bottleneck it to pharmaceuticals. I'm talking about in all different industries.
Okay, I mean,
So I'm just saying,
change.
like, I understand that you have a right to be mad and you have a right to be, like, to like talk about it and like to express their feelings, but at the end of the day, that's just the world we live in. So if one person does it, that more likely or not they got it from somebody else, right? Or they originated the idea, or it was inspired by something else, right? So more likely it's if this happening now, then that means it's originated from somewhere else. So that means you don't know if you can stop the whole influence.
So you're saying the love of or the want of money or the transition as money as the baseline started or originated a long time ago. Is that what you're trying to say?
Basically.
I mean, because it started when people were trading different minerals and different natural resources that people had, like the sub-Saharan trade and I don't know what time, I'm bad with dates, but that time when they were trading gold for rice and salt. Yeah, so everybody was trading different materials. So I mean, money or the exchange of different hands of materials or valuable things has been long recorded. I just don't like that the fact that money is the end all be all with companies and people that don't want to help other people. They just want to exploit them for whatever they can gain off of their labor. That's my only problem. If you can make money, I don't have a problem with people making money, but if you don't give back or do a substantial amount of helping the people that you're taking the fruit of their labor from, that's where my problem lies. So if I was to be a millionaire, I'm gonna try to give back or give my time, give my money, give my effort to different passions that I have. That's just me. So a lot of people, when they get the money, they don't look back to reach back and help their communities. They're like, if I could do it, why can't you? Why can't you just put down, get the work done, get your grind on, blaze a trail like I did, and we'll see you at the top together. But I'm like, that's just not how it should be. If you come from the same environment, you should know how hard it is. You should know how many hurdles that you have to go through. You can mentor them. You can help them put them on to different things that they want to do with your connections. It's just different things. And then you can give some capital if they really need it to invest in their stuff.
So let me ask you a question. And this can go to both of y'all. Do you believe that at a certain age, people don't change, or you think people can change at any age?
I feel like people can change, especially when there's money involved. I feel like when people get a taste of wealth, they sometimes, not everyone, but sometimes people can feel greedy. And also, another thing, like, say if these people were born into money, they're not going to see the struggle. So they're going to build it up, which I feel like that's how big pharma is today. Like, these people, it's just being passed on generations, that these people are just monopolizing, getting even more money because they don't care. It's not affecting it. Big pharma runs everything. So I feel like over a period of time, people can change, but then at the same time, you see people who don't, like, say people with money, but also people with new money tend to donate back because they see their struggles, especially if they came from a struggle. But people who didn't grow up with any struggles, or people who were privileged and then got more money, they don't see the struggle and they don't see the need to donate or give back to any community.
What is your definition of privilege? And then we'll go back to Chris about my question.
Well, privilege can be a lot of things. So there's white male privilege. That's the main one. But but then there's also privilege of, like, living in a more wealthy society. Like, say I have suburban privilege because I grew up in a suburban area. Or you could say there's privilege in a lot of things. Like, we're privileged just to go to college and have an education. So privilege is just having a one-up over people, or some, like, having, I don't know, more benefit. I don't know the exact words, but... So
do you individualize it, or do you group it? Like how you
can
did
be
with
both.
white man privilege.
It can be individualized and both. But I feel like if you're in society today, if you're white, you have privilege regardless.
Pretty known.
Because just your skin color. And I feel like, if you're female, you're less privileged in society. So it's very much grouped, but it also can depend on how you were raised and how your economic wealth, everything like that.
So you're saying you group it at first, but if you go deep into it, then you individualize the privilege to get a better perspective. Okay, Chris.
But I feel like as a whole, though, it's grouped because it's how society views you.
Okay, Chris.
What was the original question? It was.
He said, "Do you see if people can change?"
Oh
Right.
yeah. I definitely think what Amanda said. When money gets involved, people do change. It might not be the people themselves, but the people around them, they see them as different type of avenue. So if you a person, you come from the struggle, you come from an impoverished neighborhood, and you make it big, however you make it big, either to tech, sports, politics, however it may be, people are going to start looking at you as an ATM. Sorry to say. People going to start looking at you as an ATM. People going to start looking at you as a cash cow. People are going to start looking at you as a stepping stone to get to a new position. That's why I want to say right here, when we go big with this podcast, I hope we never change. I hope we still stay the same, stay friends, just be genuine and just be innocent. Because when money starts getting involved, people just start looking different. And that's when things just start breaking apart. And then when it goes back to generational wealth, the first person who builds the wealth, of course they're gonna have a good heart because they know how hard it took to get to that point. But once it started getting third generation, because second generation, that's pretty much just the I mean, not siblings, but their offspring. So they know daddy not playing around. So second generation, they don't really know it yet, but they can understand it. Third generation, they're like, mommy and daddy had money. Grandpa was the one working, but grandpa ain't spitting that game like to me no more because he's on his last legs or grandma's on her last legs. They can't really give me the knowledge that I'm asking for yet, because they might be going through some terminal illnesses or something. But if they do, that's cool. You should ask your grandparents everything you can about old days and how it translates to the new era and how there's some similarities and differences. And then once you get fourth, fifth, however many generations your wealth spans to, that's when you get the spoiled brats, the privilege, the I'm entitlements, all that just starts getting into play, and it's just very difficult.
No, I agree. And just branching back off to Big Pharma, I was doing a little bit of research.
Mm-hmm.
Something sparked my mind because I learned about this because my teacher was like, you got to know about the options and how this world is controlled by different things. So he actually taught us about how Big Pharma came into society.
Okay.
And who kind of like the father of Big Pharma was. And it's a very popular name. It's Rockefeller. And who would have thought Rockefeller? But actually, at that point in time, when he was rising with the, I believe, steel industry,
mm-hmm.
There was a time where there was regular medical doctors and holistic doctors, and both of those were appreciated in society. So they were kind of equal, and people didn't mock holistic doctors like they do today.
So they were on a kind of even playing field. Okay.
And even maybe the holistic doctors were a little bit higher. Okay. So then Rockefeller went to this guy named Abraham Flexner, who he worked for Carnegie. And with that, they saw how Big Pharma could be developed with medicine and how much money they could profit off of medicine. So they wrote the Flexner Report. So do some research. It's called the Flexner Report. And pretty much it shaped how medicine is today. And it pushed out all the holistic doctors, gave them zero credit. It basically discredited that whole branch of medicine and pushed forward medical doctors.
It's 6 degrees of freedom. This is what I tell my dad this all the time. 6 degrees of separation, you can always tie it back to money. Any industry, any type of discrepancies, conflict, issues, more often than not, you can translate it back to money. And money is, in my opinion, the root of all evil, or the want or the will of money is the root of all evil. That's just my take on it.
So like, it makes me think at the same time, I'm like, is medical doctors and prescribing medicine the most legit way? Or as you can see, money is controlling that. So it's like, is this the actual best way or best avenue that we should take?
I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that everything can be cured by stuff that's being grown on Earth naturally, not any steroids. What else? Spray? What do they spray on different fruits like
Pesticides?
yeah, pesticides? Any of that? I think if we get rid of that, I think we can solve a lot of our issues with our health. It's just the fact that we have so unquote research that helps us with our developed bodies, which is actually, in my opinion, just molding our bodies into a more natural, not natural, but more unisex, unifit form. So all biology is pretty much gonna be the same, except for DNA. That's just my opinion.
I 100% agree because it all starts with like diet and lifestyle.
Yeah.
Your bodies are shaped a lot about how you think, what you do, everything that you ingest, everything that your body absorbs. It's all affected. Because I'm thinking about, so my grandmother, who I mentioned earlier, who's a naturopath, I call her dear, she had cancer 3 times. And the first time,
Yeah, what?
She had cancer 3 different times, 3 different cancers.
Jeez.
Still alive and well today.
God
Healthiest person I've ever met.
God bless.
So the first time she had cancer, it was like stage 3 or 4. It was like, they didn't give her like much lifetime. So she did radiation, and she said the radiation was terrible. It like made her even more sick. So she just cut it all off, and she just changed her lifestyle completely. Cured that cancer, got it again, cured that cancer herself, got another cancer, cured that again, and has been healthy ever since.
Jeez. So
and
she just changed, like she just worked out, ate better.
Yeah, she did the research that people don't tell us. Because there's so many things that society does not want us to know. That's why you have to go out and search for it, like yourself.
Do your research.
I think that's why I can see the impact of natural medicine, and that's gonna always be my go-to, just because I see how it works for my grandmother, how powerful that was, and I see the work that she does with other people, like people who couldn't even walk. She's nursed them back with natural medicine, and now they can walk, and nothing ever seems like anything could be wrong. So it's crazy how natural medicine is such a joke to people, but it's like so powerful and so real.
I mean, it's cool. You're just ignoring technology at that point, but
ignoring technology?
Yeah.
How?
Well, pharmaceutical companies, most of the stuff is created by modern technology, right? So when you're not using modern treatment, you're ignoring modern technology. Now, I'm not knocking it. If it works for you, it works for you. So go ahead and do your thing. But I'm just saying the fact that y'all saying that we should, you said most, which when you say most, that's over 50%. And I don't, if anything, it will be half and half. Because once again, I can understand that there are times when doctors tell you things and it's more to the modern side. And sometimes it's not good for you. Cool, I got you. But there are other times where modern technology helps out. But when you stick to old ways, or if you stick to, like, for example, your lifestyle change, like I said, I'm not knocking it, but you are ignoring modern options when you do stuff like that.
I don't think it's ignoring modern options, because I like I said, I want to go in the healthcare field. I want to be a PA. I want to be under that medical oath. But it's also about these doctors are not all knowledgeable about other things. All they know is they're taught in medical school, medicine. Here's this medicine for that. Here's this medicine for that. They're not taught other options. That's why I think in the medical field, if you want to be a doctor, look at the DO route, because they're taught other things. So they're taught OMM, which is
Point of information. What is DO?
DO is Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine.
Okay.
So you have an MD and a DO. A DO is, in my point, a Doctor MD 2.0, because they're taught more things. They're taught so OMM, which is, I believe, Osteopathic Manipulative Medicine. So say if you're having a pain in your side of the body, or having something internally wrong, they can manipulate your body and do kind of like masseuse work, but like.
So a chiropractor would pretty much fall into that category?
Yes, similar, yes.
Okay.
So they manipulate your body in certain aspects instead of prescribing medicine, or instead of giving you other avenues. So they manipulate your body, and over time, and having that therapy or treatment, you get better. So that's something I would incorporate in my PA. So PAs aren't taught OMM, but the school I'm looking at, it's a DO school, which has a PA school. So I want to see if there's a way to incorporate parts of DO into PA profession.
Before you jump in, Chauncey, is there extra schooling for that, Amanda?
So I probably couldn't like charge or anything for that, the extra OMM, but I could take classes on it.
Okay.
But if it was incorporated into it, so like for DO, it is 4 years. They're just taught more.
Okay, so it's more compressed.
Yes.
Okay.
So they have more classes. But there's other options. Like, you don't always have to be an MD. Like Chris mentioned chiropractic. Being a chiropractor. That's a great alternative, because I love my chiropractor. But he like, that's more on the alternative medicine, where they do use technology, because gotta go up and down that table and they break your back. Okay.
Crack.
But, and also he uses lasers and stuff to get down to the muscle. When you, like, 'cause I messed up my shoulder one time. There's so many avenues where you don't need to just be prescribed medicine. But people don't want to do those avenues, and it's not so much with technology, because a lot of these drugs and prescriptions, they're all plant-based, but they add extra stuff to give you that side effects. Regular plants don't give you those side effects, but the drug companies add in those side effects and find ways where you can keep taking more and more, so that you continue to get money. It's not so much not listening to technology, but you need to listen to more of what your body tells you, and what your body's saying, what's good for you.
In that case, you will have to experience both sides, or explore all options, is what I'm trying to say. So you shouldn't automatically go to natural stuff. You should take things base by base situation. Sometimes you can use modern technology, sometimes not. That's all I'm saying. You can use the natural way. All I'm saying is consider modern options. That's it.
Okay. But natural medicine should be your first option, though.
Why?
Because
I think that's where the division is right now. Is what's the first option? Is it going to see your MD, or is it going to see your holistic research and going with that? I think that's where the division is right now.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Because at the same time, why would you want to put something in your body that could potentially hurt it, when you can go with the natural way first to see if there's any health benefits that way into curing whatever you have?
Because technology, like I said, technology is moving fast. So why are you going backwards before you're going forwards, is what I'm trying to ask. Why are you in different perspectives? Like, for example, history. Of course, you need to know the history, so going backwards, so that you won't go backwards anymore, so that you can continue moving forward. But in this case, you're saying that you should go natural first. Don't go natural first and then going modern. Like, there's a disconnect. Why would you go back before you go forward?
But not all natural medicine is old and out of date.
But
it's still regularly being studied.
But when you told me that it's originated because of things that are found in history, right?
It's originated from things people have studied and things that have proven to be beneficial. Like, I guess you can say natural medicine. You can say
It's like
it's not modern research. Technology.
It's like ancient research, pretty much. There's been multiple. I don't want to say survival rates, but multiple instances with patients or people that have done it or have become successful and become healthy on the other side.
Yeah. So pretty much things that are in naturopathic medicine that people often use, all these things have been proven, but big pharma knocks all that stuff out of the light so people can't see it. Think about Dr. Sebi. They're not letting people make his documentary because they don't want that information put out there for people to know.
Mm-hmm.
So all this information is out there, but it's in the trenches because the government, big pharma, who runs the government, but all of that, they don't want us to live longer. They want us to take all our money, give us all these drugs, prescriptions, killing our bodies, and then saying, on to the next.
But at that point, that's not a modern thing. That's doing your research.
But it's
how is that not a modern thing
out there?
What I'm trying to say is that's not a modern issue. What she was saying is that it's in the trenches and not many people will be able to see or like realize there's another option. So I'm saying you shouldn't be knocking modern treatment. It's people doing or being more aware of their options. But if they are aware of the options, then they know what's there. But if you go into an office, if you go into the doctor and you're only listening to the options that your doctor is giving you, which is, like you said, is only modern options, then why are we hating on modern options because it's the only one being presented?
Because it's the only one being presented. That's the reason why. You just said it in your
But y'all was
argument.
talking about that. Y'all was talking about that, like it's in the trenches, right? Like it's not seen. It don't even get brought up, right?
Yeah, it's in the darkness. There's no light being brought to it. That's the issue. Amanda said it earlier. They pushed out natural doctors once they realized how much capital they can get off of medicine, prescriptions, and different pills they can give to the general public and have them pay for it. Once that became a big boom, natural doctors just went out the way, and they're in the minority now. They're in the trenches, like Amanda said. They're not getting the spotlight they deserve because they have the same results, or they might even have better procedures to help their patients. But the simple fact that they don't have the capital to market like big pharma companies or push it in more cities with metropolitan. Am I saying that word right?
Yeah.
Okay, metropolitan areas where more people can buy this prescription and have it come to them. They get overlooked. They get overshadowed. It's like the bench warmer or like the walk-on that became the superstar over the number one recruit in whatever sport. It's kind of like that same effect.
Yeah, and to continue off that and how Chauncey said we need to look at more modern things, the human body is not modern whatsoever. They're old as dirt. Our ancestors on ancestors on ancestors.
Yeah.
So who's to say that modern medicine knows what's best for us? You can tell what's best for us throughout history. Think about in regular history class. People know what to do and how to handle society through history and through people's mistakes. So looking back, you need to see the history, because not all medicine, modern medicine, is the best medicine. You need to see what's been working for people in the past. And now that people are looking at money and that's so embellished into society, they're masking over what has helped people in the past the most, and then just giving us stuff that's poisoning our bodies.
I feel like there should be a resurgence with natural doctors. I feel like there should be a collaboration. It shouldn't just be one-sided. And if they have different opinions, okay, cool. But you should all come to a compromise like people do with business. At the business table, there should be a compromise. There should be a lengthy debate, bring all the stories, bring all the procedures, give credit where credit due, and make sure it's recorded correctly. Have an independent party, third party who doesn't really care, but is just in there to make sure everything is accurate. Like a stenographer, but somebody who has no stake in Big Pharma.
Big Pharma? Good?
And I think, well, Big Pharma, hashtag good or evil with the little flame. If for the listeners, Amanda put it on her dry erase board behind her. So watch the video on YouTube and you can see the beautiful drawing.
Also, can I just point out my curls? They're just on point.
AVH Organics. AVH Organics.
But yeah. So I think we will conclude this episode.
I feel like Chauncey wanted to get something out right quick.
Yeah, Chauncey looks like he's looking up something.
Because he's researching right now. His lip is twitching. Like he really wanted to say something.
What I'm gonna tell you is, because never in my conversation did I say we should favor modern treatment than past. All I said was give it 50-50. And I'm looking at, like, what you were saying about natural doctors. So yes, it's honestly, I can understand what you're talking about, but honestly, we just have it'll be better just to do a study, because what you're talking about could easily be it can be proved, but it can't be proved at the same time, because there can be a lot of different other activities or other events that makes the patient feel better or get treated, as y'all would say.
So there's not a lot of controls. It's kind of hard to control the experiment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're right. It's a lot of controls. I'm just saying, moral of the story: do not just push off modern treatment. Give it 50-50, like I've been saying. Don't just push modern treatment just because of these pharmaceuticals.
No, I agree with you on that, Chauncey. I mean, I'm just saying, just my take on big pharmaceutical companies.
Because
I still take medicine. My fault, Amanda.
No, you're good. Like, I'm not knocking the whole like big pharma. No, not big pharma, but medicine. I'm not knocking medicine because it's proven to be beneficial in a lot of different aspects. I just don't think it should be, I'm sick, I need medicine. I think it should be, I'm sick, what is the natural way to do this? And if you can't figure out the natural way to do this and you've exhausted all options, then yeah, it's fine. Go with the medication. But I don't think you should initially say, which is very common, and based off what I was saying, how Big Pharma got in, how they brainwashed everyone. Everyone's go-to is, I need medicine when you're sick. And that should not be the go-to.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Are these natural doctors, do they have a private office or what? or are they in the same hospital as the MDs?
No, they'll be in different offices. You know.
Okay, so
You know what? No, wait. We should have a part 2 of this. So my grandmother, her name is Deborah Pierce, but I call her Mother Dear. I'm gonna bring her on this call.
Oh yeah.
Because she's very well versed.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are definitely coming back to this conversation. This is a great episode.
Because she has taught me almost everything that I know. And that girl, she knows her stuff.
You said her name, you call her Mother Dears?
Mother Dear, yeah.
Oh.
All right. I'll be ready next time. So
I'm
gonna be ready next time.
Charlie said I'm bringing the information.
Just keep that in mind. I'll be ready next time.
I'm gonna be strapped.
I'm gonna bring my facts this next time.
I'm gonna be strapped.
Just be prepared though. Mother Dear's about to come with the heat.
I'm not talking. All I say is I'm be prepared next time. That's all.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It has been another episode of Applicable Science Podcast, Park Car Conversations, talking about Big Pharma. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Applicable Science. That's our main page. Infographics will be posted about different conversations, and Park Car conversation snippets will be on there as well. Our main segments will be posted on there, so just follow our page, applicable_science. And for different handles, you can follow me at Tallboy_Chris and Amanda at
Boonda55 and AVH Organics.
Chauncey, anything you want to say? Are we cool?
Give people share time. Amanda is just pro natural and just very anti modern. So just keep up. Just keep in mind.
I'm just well versed in both.
I mean, she's a PA. She's gonna be a PA. She got to be well versed in both to get both sides and give her patients an honest.
Just answer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Yo, we have so many things that I wrote down that we didn't get into, but this definitely be for another episode. Like I said, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching, and then tune in to our next episode and previous ones as well. Well, until next time.